I loved the first Mass Effect, was my kind of game. Didn't like Dragon Age, wasn't my kind of game with dragons and everything.
Dragons are awesome.
Yeah, true. I loved Mass Effect 2, couldn't get enough of it, and was hoping that Dragon Age 2 would be this step in quality that Mass Effect 2 was to Mass Effect 1. But from what I've been playing so far, it really hasn't captured me. You, though, have been playing it for, I believe, 15 hours so far, and you're liking it?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why, please.
Please explain.
Yes.
Let's just make it official that Dragon Age 2 isn't the kind of like big step or the big quantum leap that Mass Effect 2 was over Mass Effect 1. It still has some of the issues that Dragon Age Origins had. It's similar but different still. It's kind of hard to explain, but...
Box quote.
Yeah. A big thing, of course, about BioWare games, as usual, is the storyline. And what they've done in Dragon Age 2 is that it takes place, or it starts, around the same time as the action picks up in Dragon Age Origins, which is the Blight is coming, there's a big battle, the king is betrayed. A bit of spoiler warning there from the first game, but if you haven't played it, tough luck. The thing with the main character, Hawke, is that this time they've given him or her a voice, which limits you. You can choose, like, I'm going to be a dwarf this time, that you could in Dragon Age Origins, which might be a problem for old BioWare fans. I'm not bothered at all by it, but I like Hawke, so that might be, I'd probably chosen to play a similar character. But if you're a big BioWare fan of the old games, you might have a problem with it. And of course, the dialogue has changed accordingly. It's more like you get the Mass Effect dialogue wheel compared to knowing exactly what you're saying.
My welcome to the city was not so different from yours.
Which comes with its own sets of problems, that what you actually pick and what actually Hawke says might not be exactly what you intended, but it works fairly well. The characters in general are great. I love them. Some of the characters you pick up are just as memorable as the ones in Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, but that being said, though, I'm not really that surprised that BioWare is actually able to tell a good story, because that's always been kind of the trademark with really deep and interesting characters. But how much have they revised the gameplay of the first one? Because I liked Mass Effect because I was into shooting stuff and science fiction, and I didn't like the first game, Dragon Age game, it should be said, because to me there was too much strategy in it. I wanted the blood and gore and everything, and swords and axes and everything. And it seems like from the screenshots and from, of course, what I've been playing, that has been much more focused in the sequel when it comes to the fighting system.
The fighting system is a lot faster than it was in Dragon Age Origins. It should be said that I'm playing the Xbox 360 version, so I haven't touched the PC version. But it's very much button mashing this time around. The first game was quite hard when it came to certain battles, and you had to shift around your characters, and you had to make some critical decisions about strategy. I haven't seen much of that in Dragon Age 2, so a lot of button mashing. Of course, I'm playing the rogues, which more or less means every button press is an attack, which might be different for the warrior and the mage, of course. But it's faster. It's not as strategy is not as important. It's you don't have that kind of tactical view that you had in the first game, and gameplay was never, to me, gameplay was never the big draw of Dragon Age Origins. And it's not in Dragon Age 2 either. Because frankly, gameplay in Mass Effect is better. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, where in Mass Effect 2, you could almost tell people who were just into action games that this was actually a game that they could go out with a good conscience and buy, because it could be played like an action game with a heavy story, of course. Can that be said about Dragon Age 2?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think Origins was that way either. That might just be me, and I might be getting a lot of angry hate mail now. But to me, Dragon Age isn't about gameplay. It's about the story and the more role-playing than Mass Effect. Mass Effect is a lot about shooting stuff, which is a good thing about Mass Effect 2. I'm not saying it's a bad thing in any way, but Dragon Age has always been more about role-playing.
Okay.
And it feels the same way here. You care more about the characters and what happens to them than the potential loot you might get, or about how fun the next fight is going to be, or just waiting for the monsters to arrive. Not so much about that. And because, frankly, the gameplay isn't that good.
So with all that being said, is this a sequel that you were hoping for from BioWare? Because it has been kind of a quick turnover from the first game to the sequel, right?
Yeah, it's... In a way it is. In a way I'm really happy. I'm having a lot of fun with Dragon Age 2, and I like the way the story is developing. It's getting really, really exciting in general, everything that's going on with the Blight and with Flemeth and Morrigan and stuff like that. But in some ways, no. Because it is very different from Dragon Age 1 in the way that, well, of course, the character and the story is told. They made a couple of very strange decisions, which I don't understand why they did. Like customizing equipment is completely different in the way that you can't customize your companions' equipment in the same way you could in the first game. Now it's more similar to Mass Effect, that they have one set of equipment that changes during the story, that you can upgrade it and they can be your friends. And
really simplified, right?
Very, very simplified. You can change their weapons, but that's more or less it. And that's it's not a decision I think fits Dragon Age.
No.
Dragon Age Origins was much more like the old BioWare games, like Baldur's Gate. Now they mixed in some stuff from Mass Effect, and it doesn't really work.
Yeah, and to be fair, that was also a critique of Mass Effect 2, so it is kind of surprising that they
Yeah,
chose
well,
to
I think it works in Mass Effect 2 in a way. I don't care as much about it there. It's sad, of course, that you can't dress up your Krogan in a big pink armor, but yeah, I can live with that in Mass Effect. But it doesn't really work in Dragon Age 2. And you can sense that it's actually been they haven't had that long time in development. They reuse environments constantly, and it's not like, oh, I saw this cave 5 hours ago. It's more like, oh wait, I saw this warehouse like 30 minutes ago. I'm just entering from another direction this time, and that's kind of sad as well, because you'll see and you'll know the maps, and more or less you know that if I just go around this bend, I can find a treasure chest, and it's always there. Which is sad. That said, the storyline is the best thing about Dragon Age 2. It was the best thing in Origins. I really love the characters. I love how it develops. I love the dark and gritty feel. It's still the cut up enemies and there's blood all over you, just like it was in the first game, which is awesome. And it's sex and violence and darkness and elven prostitutes and just all that stuff.
Your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite, elven prostitutes again. No, but that dark and gritty feel is still there, and they're doing cool things with the franchise. I hope they change some of the stuff back in Dragon Age 3, which obviously is coming. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm satisfied. Absolutely, I'm having a lot of fun with it.